Bloody Daddy starring Shahid Kapoor had audiences excited, especially due to the association of Ali Abbas Zafar having proven himself as a capable action director, and Shahid's foray into a full action role after so many years in the industry was a welcome change. The trailer, however, had mixed reactions because where on one hand one doubted the quality of the action sequences being indicative of why the makers have opted for a digital release, the others wondered whether this was the lost opportunity by the makers to go for a theatrical release, especially at a time where a biggie like Jawan was postponed. Irrespective, I went in to watch this film hopeful that I will be surprised and feel totally pumped in this presumably exhilarating ride. And my god, was I absolutely wrong. Bloody Daddy, directed by Ali Abbas Zafar, is the official remake of the French film Sleepless Night that released in 2011. This film was also remade in the Tamil language with Kamal Hassan in the lead in 2015. A bag of drugs goes in the hands of the protagonist Sumer, played by Shahid Kapoor, and the drug dealer executing the order, played by Ronit Roy, kidnaps his son to hold him until he gets his delivery back. The events and absolute mayhem that follows in one night at a hotel as Sumer aims to retrieve his son while exploring several moving elements including the police force, the drug mafia, and several moles and rats in different departments, each having their ulterior motive, forms the basic storyline of Bloody Daddy. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch Bloody Daddy on JIO Cinema or not. The good. Some performances. I wanted to root for this film and its overall quality, especially because I think Shahid Kapoor as an actor can prove himself in the action genre, especially because of his physical agility, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack when it comes to appreciating the performances in this film. It's not necessarily the issue with the casting, but the screenplay, dialogues, and treatment that makes most of the characters caricatures rather than real, grounded, intimidating, or unpredictable people. Shahid Kapoor as Sumer is constantly on the edge, slightly irritable and angry, and shouts at every instance he feels cornered. I had joked about how Shahid Kapoor would get irritated with the chocolate boy tag, so he really has gone a complete 180 with his roles and demeanor lately. You will slightly see a Kabir Singh hangover in this portrayal. The way he reacts to his circumstances, the fact that he is an alcoholic, echoes the same grunting and shouting noises of a man with his guards up and who hates to be vulnerable. Where Shahid delivers in glimpses in his action sequences, the writing really lets him down in having any kind of lasting impression. I enjoyed Ronit Roy's performance even though he borders on being unintentionally funny with the dialogues handed to him. He especially shines in the condescending way in which he mistreats and plays around with Shahid's character. It was lovely to see Rajiv Khandelwal also in this film, who in my eyes always gets shortchanged, especially lately with the roles he is handed. A genuine talent that people can take a risk with, and he will definitely deliver. Sadly, Diana Penty just does not have enough meat in the matter to have any impact. Song number and a few glimpses of potential. In the otherwise underwhelming music album of Bloody Daddy, the only song that has some ability to charge you up for the bloodshed that will follow is the number Real Talk by GD47. It has the gritty theme that fits so perfectly in the film, but I curse the terrible editing of this movie, especially in capturing the action, that even a chest-thumping number like this does not get its deserved visual appeal. The less I say about the action, the better. The movie builds up the action as if you're about to witness absolute magic, but it under-delivers each time. All I can say is that Shahid and Rajiv Khandelwal share one sequence in a kitchen that has its moments, but if you ask me, overall, for everyone who was pumped that this film is going to deliver so much from the POV of action, my god, does it misfire big time. One really has to be a loyal fan to mask this film's problems. I often get accused of being a Shahid Kapoor fanboy, but even the most loyal fan can't defend this sloppy treatment. The underwhelming aspects. Choppy and delayed action. As I concluded with respect to the slight glimpses one can be appreciative of, Bloody Daddy simply does not deliver the action that we anticipated and wondered that the makers were keeping at bay with the teaser and trailer. The biggest problem, however, of this film is not necessarily the action but the way it is captured. It really does provide you a glimpse of how an action director may make the most sincere effort, but if it's butchered on the editing table, it can be detrimental for a film. An hour passes by in the film's running time and one still is waiting for the action to commence, thinking that if they're leaving the last hour for the madness, then there will surely be something epic. But it just builds up tension to provide you mid-sequences. It's choppily edited, has far too many jump cuts, and one starts to wonder about how Ali Abbas Zafar, who otherwise has a keen eye for engaging action, could go so wrong. I'll tell you an example. There is a point where Shahid picks up a knife. That is going to be the weapon of his choice to go through a highly guarded door. One starts to envision that this will be reflective of the magic we all once saw in Rocky Handsome, but it is far from it, and it is mainly due to the poor manner in which most of the sequences of combat are captured. Caricatures and poor writing. If the action underdelivered, at least one can think that the makers may have formulated something compelling and interesting with the characters involved. But even in that case, the movie misses the mark in truly engaging you. This also made me realize that Bloody Daddy essentially has an identity crisis because it does not know what it wants to be. It lacks the inventiveness and dry humor that exists in the several Raj and DK or Guy Ritchie universes, and neither is it unapologetic like the John Wick series, where one may complain about it being emotionally stagnant, but no one can complain about the quality of its action. It's neither here nor there, and this precisely makes it such a mid-overall treatment. The dialogues, other than the brief moments of a throwaway Akshay Kumar joke and Sanjay Kapoor presumably having COVID as he could not verify the cocaine will generate crickets rather than laughs. Lactose-free milk and gluten-free bread is the theme of this film. It's diet food that just lacks flavor. As the movie is set in a hotel, you will see several moving elements as the action continues, but the periphery is so unintentionally funny, including a guy getting a false positive, a Nepali chef at the back of the kitchen, or the worst, Shahid taking a break from the action to give a lesson to a boy about consent and telling him no means no. Villains fight with each other and then are found ironing their Gucci suits. It's all tonally confused. As I said, the comedy is not self-aware enough and the action not unapologetic either. Poor climax and lack of an emotional core. The problem is that if the comedy is not landing and the action is mid, then probably from a thriller perspective there might be a silver lining, right? That the characters and their intentions are constantly kept at bay for you to keep guessing which team they're on. Nope, you're wrong. You know from the onset itself of the character's shadiness and alliances, so there isn't even an element of surprise as the screenplay progresses. The editing is stylistic rather than serving the purpose of the screenplay. I mean, how am I supposed to take an action sequence in the climax seriously when it keeps on switching between Badshah performing and Shahid kicking butt? If you compare it to Ayushmann dancing with Malaika in the climax of an action hero on Aap Jaisa Koi and Jaideep looking in frustration and disbelief, it actually serves the story. The love between the father and son is also surface level, not having the emotional depth to make you truly be invested in their relationship. It really made me think that this may just be Ali Abbas Zafar's most underwhelming work in the action genre, and knowing the investment that has gone into this project, it really does seem like commercial creators who shot a movie for 36 days, took their bags and said, peace out. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Bloody Daddy. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.